Hey guys, it's Tom up here at Chigger Hill again, and I'm out here. It's cold. It's 35 degrees according to my truck thermometer, and here in Arkansas we don't much care for that. Out here digging. There's my little mini excavator. I hope you can see it. I can't tell what I'm pointing at. Yeah, there it is. The reason why I'm doing this video, I wasn't going to do a video today, but I want to just brag on my little mini X for a minute. I want you to see how big of a rocks that they have dug out of that hole. And so when I dug that up, I thought, I'm going to stop and get my camera. Just for example, there's my size 13 boot up against that rock. All of those rocks came out of that little hole. And you can see there's, just for comparison, that's my boot again. That's how big them rocks are. Anyway, I'll do a little bit of recording here. It's cold and all that, so I'm not going to do too much. But let me get you stuck on the side here and see if we can make this acceptable. Oh, I'll tell you, yeah, I think that'll work. Let's see. Yep, we're gonna go with that. Anyway, let me get going. I may not have that camera pointed at exactly the right place, but or not. Wow. See if I can make this a little better. That is a rock right there. That's what we're dealing with. Back just a little bit, see if I can get a hold of that big rock right there. Now, the other thing you got to remember is I'm still pretty new at this. I might have that one. Oh yeah, little mini X done a good job. Hey, that hydraulic thumb worth the money. Come on up out of there, Rock. Yeah, there's a couple of big ones in there still. There we go. See if I can get that thumb to have to grab a hold of that. Nope, missed it. Still missed it. That's all right. Just needs that little angle on it. There we go. Now we got it. You wonder why we have trouble growing grass out here in certain spots. This here, as you can tell, I don't, well, maybe you can, maybe you can't, but that is right at the surface of the ground. And no amount of fertilizer will make that rock grow a blade of grass. Get a hold of that. There we go. Back up just a little bit here. I don't know if you can tell or not, but that end of that bucket is scraping across the top of some more of those rocks right there. But it's actually about 20 inches deep, which is only an inch shallow from what I need, so I'm not going to worry with it. Yeah, there we go, we hooked one in. See what we can do with it. I broke it. Come on. There we go. It's awful. It is awful. There we go. You can tell when it breaks loose like that. It kind of slings that rock around a little bit. Pushes the machine around. The machine's pretty light, it's just a 1 ton R10-5 Rippa. But it's putting this water line in, that's for sure. I've got about 250 feet of water line already dug. When I started out, I had 33 hours on the machine. Now I've got 44, so dug 250 foot in about 10 or 11 hours. least 30 minutes of that was driving back and forth. It takes about 5 minutes to drive this thing 600 feet. Now come on, there we go. Now I think the internet says that this thing travel speed is about 3.5 miles an hour. I don't know if that's accurate or not. We might have got past that little pile of rocks. It throws this excavator around a little bit, but that's why that ditch is getting wide like that. It breaks the top of it off. There's another big one. Let's see if we can get that out of here. You can see how close that is. See it? They pulled that water grass up out of there with the dirt. That's how close to the top of the ground this is. Let me see if I can get this one right here. Looks like I did. It's over here with his brothers. I could tell yesterday when I was in here digging that I was getting close to a nest of rocks. And I sure was. Man. I had to find we've got several little dirt piles around here from the previous owner where he made a mess out of stuff. There's some dirt piles around that we can rescue dirt, fill this back in, because I'm not going to put those big rocks back in. Come on, let's try that again. That there's actually pulling the excavator forward. There's probably a pretty good sized rock in there. I'll dig in here just a minute. Get all them out of the way. back, sometimes I can get a little bit different angle on that rock that's out there. This thing has I guess you'd say a power stroke position that it likes to be in, where you can get the maximum amount of force out of it. There we go. I made it settle down just a little bit then. There we go. See that earth around there start heaving. You know you got a pretty good sized rock. And that's why this ditch doesn't look like a ditch. I mean, it doesn't look like a trench. If you look down the road there about 50 feet, you can see it looks more like a trench. Here it looks more like a ditch, because of the way these rocks are breaking out. See if I can break that rock off right there. I made her move. Once you make them move, you pretty well got them after that. He may not go. Yeah, let me get under it. See if I can get under it. There it goes. See it heave that dirt, that earth there around it. There we go. See if I can thumb. There you go. That thumb made a difference. Get another bite on that. You can see that grass growing on top of that. That dirt's not an inch deep. Oops, missed the rock. Either that or it broke. There it is. I think you can see that. That, my friends, is a ginormous rock. It made a heck of a hole out of my trench too. See if we can clean that mess up. Another big rock. Excuse me. Right there. Get it out there just for get it out of there. Just because we can. There's another big flat one. It was sitting on top of. I'm gonna leave it alone because it's not got a jaggedy edge on it. Hook another good one. It's time to move again. That's a lot deeper than it needs to be, but it's only because of that getting those rocks out. Oops. See here. Looks like I bent my little bucket just a little bit, picking those rocks up the side of it. Hopefully we're about out of this little mess. Rocks, there's always rocks here. Oh, there's a good one under there. It's pulling the excavator forward. Not to make that any deeper. It's already deep enough. I'd like to weigh that one rock there just to see how much it weighs. I don't have any way to do that. I may try to roll it over and give an estimate. Oh, come on. Yeah, it's crumbling. You can see it. I can see it crumbling. I don't know if you can on the video or not. There's a good sized rock underneath there, but fortunately it's crumbling. It's not trying to come out all at once. Sometimes I found out that the angle of attack on them front teeth are the trick to breaking that. You come in too vertical, you just want to scratch across it, but if you come in more of a horizontal attitude, more kind of like that right there, drag that across. It'll get in between them layers of them rocks, pop them loose. If this was a bigger excavator, you probably wouldn't have to play those type of games with it. But these little minis, you have to come on, there you go. You have to figure out what its strengths and weaknesses are and work toward that. Heave up another big rock. I'm gonna try to get that out of there. Anyhow, let's see here. That's almost a half hour worth of digging. Hang on just a second. Get you off of there. All right. Excuse me. Like I said, it's cold out here. I've got my winter coat on and everything. It's not a Carhartt. So there are alternatives out there for warm clothing for those of you who are looking for an alternative winter wear. Anyhow, I hope that was informative or at least enjoyable. It's run on here about 30 minutes. So anyhow, Sally's not here. She's working. Today's Monday. And we'll see her later on. It is Immaculate Conception, which is for Catholics is a holy day of obligation. So I'll see her at church here a little bit later. It's also my oldest granddaughter's birthday. She is 18 today, and God bless her. You know, she's a really a good child, and now she's a really a good young adult. Anyhow, enough about that. All right, y'all have a good day, and we'll see you later.